right. Well, that's enough.
To all fellas, don't listen to this with your girl.
Right. Don't. We should put a little thing at the beginning.
It has to say don't listen
Not
to this.
safe for women.
FW.
All right, you're asking for it, so here it is. Listen to this.
I want you folks laughing at we partners pod, kid. You understand? We in here drinking, singing, swinging, all that shit, dog. We sweating, getting wet, and all that.
All right, welcome to the real 98th episode of the Drinking Partners podcast. This is our real 98th, our Richard Dent episode. I can't even remember the description on the other 98, but just know we really be drinking, and sometimes we can't count.
Yeah. Yeah, we went through almost 100 episodes.
We almost
clearly
made
over
it.
100.
Yeah, we went through a lot of episodes without messing up that count,
Yeah.
and I don't know.
It's not a science either. We got to debate how to number these.
Well, you know what's happening? Like,
and
people are hitting us up to come places and do things, and we're not counting those.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
it's like we talk about it being one before. Like, we never. You guys gotta understand as listeners, like, this sounds very well put together when it comes out, but it's really two dudes drinking and like two dudes producing it, but they're also drinking.
Yeah,
Like,
and I'm pretty sure you realize once you get to the end of these casts, because we sound like we really be drinking. Yeah, I mean,
so 98-ish. We're getting very close to that 100th release, and we just want to. Well, first of all, I'm half of the host and tandem, Ed Bailey. I'm joined as always with my co-host Dave Bracey. Say what up to the people.
what's good with you people? We are Drinking Partners, and if you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on IG, Facebook, and Twitter at Partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, and Google Play.
We're Googleable.
Under Drinking Partners. Shit. What are we, 98 now?
We don't know what
I
we
don't
are.
know. But we've been asking y'all, man, and we're going to continue to ask. Please, rate and review, man. Hop on iTunes, rate and review. That's how we know what we're doing well. That's how we let others know that we're doing well, and that's how we continue to do well. So please, rate and review, man.
Hey, listen, you love us. You tell us you love us when you see us in person. Now just tell the internet. You know what I mean? We vets now. We done some big things. And in lieu of rates and reviews, we always take shots of Hennessy.
Shots of Henny will work.
Or whatever the fuck I just got handed. Kentucky old style bourbon.
Nah.
This shit look like.
Don't fall for the bullshit. Don't fall. You know what? Fall for the bullshit.
This shit look like raccoon piss. Like.
Fall for the bullshit.
You know what it is? The strongest liquors be having the cheapest labels, and the color be fucked up. This shit look like apple cider, but it ain't.
I want to see how the rest of this cast go after you drink some of that.
Slide me one of those cups. So while we talk about getting fucked up, we just want to send a special thanks and shout out to everybody who supported and came out to our 100th episode, man, down at Pittsburgh Playwrights Theater. It was everything we could have hoped for and even more.
It was exceeded expectations. There was so much love in that room.
So much fucking love from people that I've never met before and people that I've met before and forgot that I did. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I don't think it was crazy because I don't think we fully advertised what was going to happen. I mean, it was like a beer tasting with, the podcast and the comedy. Okay. And some people actually showed up with beer.
Yeah,
and
I don't understand that.
Like, it was BYOB, but once you realized there was no need to have any beer with you.
Well, the one dude, I guess he runs the building, and he had a little cooler because he didn't want to get too fucked up. And he had that "I'm a professional dude" sweater on. I'm like, yeah, you about to sweat all that ironing and starch out, fam. We getting fucked up.
Yeah, I mean it was mad love. Bloom Brew came with enough brews to last the whole party.
Yeah, Bloom Brew thought that it was gonna be them alone.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't realize it was a whole bunch of other people on that flyer. They thought we was pump faking.
True. Blue Brew came through full pint with the hundo. Shoe Brew, they got that. Man, they got that New England style IPA.
Yes.
That shit is cracking, B. So shout out to Shoe Brew.
Apis.
Apis came through, man. Doing their thing, man. I'm still a fan of that coffee mead that they got going. If you're a coffee fan, hit that up. That is sweet and delicious. And
also Rock Bottom,
yeah, Rock Bottom came through. I mean.
Special shout out to Full Pint, though, again, for that hundo. Just to top off the day, man, not only to have our 100th episode live with all that love, man, we got a beer now, a beer that we had a hand in, what went into it. Its name, it has cognac in that motherfucker, so it's us.
Yeah, it's a cognac craft brew, which, I don't know how many episodes you guys have listened to, but day one of this podcast, I brought in the craft, Ed brought in the Henny, And that was our podcast, and
That's how we started.
100 episodes later, we combined them, and appreciate that.
That shit almost brought a tear to my eye when he just linked that together. You thought about that at the crib? Was that one of those things you was thinking about, fucked up on the way home from the podcast? Like day one, I remember he had that flask in hand. I brought the wire box.
True. It was Wire. I forgot it was Wire.
We was in a closet and shit.
We was in that tight ass. It was winter and cold as fuck outside, but hot as hell in that. Then when we brought in Lex,
that's a big boy to be in a small room.
That was a lot of nigga heat.
Yeah, he was emitting a lot of whatever the fuck he was emitting. But again, man, cannot express the love enough, man. That shit was amazing.
Yeah, thank you for all the sponsors. Thank you for all the people that came out. Thank you for the guests that came out. Rick Seaback, Baron Batch, John Fetterman. It was the biggest thing that we had done.
Seaback made us drinks, man. Listen to the episode. If you wasn't there, just listen to the episode. Shit got crazy.
Yeah,
got crazy. I honestly don't remember anything. There was a mannequin challenge that showed up on the internet that I don't remember being a part of. But that's dope. It happened, and I was still. So that's cool. I did my part. I don't even know how to proceed. I'm excited about this episode too because our guests, I guess they didn't care that we were super fucked up at our 100 because they just came with more beer. Like,
they just came through
we're at the
with
point
more fuck up.
We're just getting too much beer. Like at this point, like my ab workouts are proven to be pointless. Like I'm just in the gym working back to being chubby. That's all I'm doing.
I'm trying. I'm shopping livers right now.
Yeah,
I need to put one on ice.
My midsection real portly right now. My daughter slapped my stomach open hand the other day. I was like, I gotta stop. When your little girl slap your shit open hand and it smacked hard as hell, I was like, this is bad. But they came out, supported our 100th, which is really dope. And Day, you were a guest on the podcast.
Yes.
We have grown-up human comic people say what up to the people.
Hey, people.
Hey, what's going on?
Now we're gonna have you introduce yourselves so they can put a name to the voice, but you got to stop fucking faking it over there, man. That dude don't sound like Dave Bracey normally. This nigga got the Allstate Man app on his iPhone feeding into the mic. That voice was the rumblings from beneath. God damn. But introduce yourselves to the people so they can put a name to a voice.
Go ahead.
This is Daniel.
All right. He ain't gonna give his last name.
Nah, he ain't all black.
Daniel's not giving out government.
Hey, no, man. I ain't never really
his name ain't Daniel. That's just a name that you can't go into a database and limit that. It's too many Daniels.
You gotta limit them Google searches.
Right.
Google Daniel. The first thing that pops is like Old Testament book.
Yeah.
You know?
He's Googled it. Like he put some thought into this. Y'all thinking we making this up? There was some research into this. Yeah, Dan, thank you for coming on.
And I'm Jared.
You got to stop, man. You have to cut this shit out.
It's mic reflex, man.
It's like the mic is in this nigga throat.
Turn the switch on, like. Yeah.
Can you teach me that?
I don't know, man. It happens automatically now. From doing all the trivia and shit, I can't turn it off.
Do you have a lady's voice, like when you're talking to the ladies? The ladies.
Oh, I thought you meant do I have a lady's voice, like.
No. When you're talking to the ladies, do you use your microphone voice? Or?
No, I don't talk like that with the lady. No, not really.
You're wasting talent, man. That's the one time to do. It's like my white voice. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
your interview voice. Yeah,
your interview voice. Like you got different voices for different.
That's kind of my white voice too. Like, yeah, I don't have much of a black voice really. Like,
no, that's a strong black voice, right?
Yeah.
If you was a white dude and you came out sound like that, I'd be confused. Fuck, this dude grew up in Homewood or something. Like,
I want to shout out the fact that they brought us the holy grail of beers over here.
Oh. Yeah, they upstaged.
Yeah. So what? I poured this out as you guys were talking earlier because what we do on our podcast is before we start, we always cheers everybody. So cheers with the Dogfish Head 120.
Oh,
cheers.
This is okay.
Cheers,
so listen to the episode with Doug Durda. He had a great story about this. I'm going to honor this beer because apparently this is like drinking out of Genesis from the Bible or some shit.
Yeah, this is the holy grail of the beers. And it's aged.
I just want to point out that on the table there are 6 beers and not one of them is under 10%.
And that's Buzzy, everyone.
Shout out to Buzzy.
Buzzy
with
only
the real
speaks
knowledge.
if you bring in 10% it up. Buzzy ain't talking to you with the little bullshit sixes. If you ain't bringing tens, Buzzy not speaking.
I think that's the first time Buzzy was like, "Listen, man, I'm hopping on." That's let me
The
make
first
sure
time
this is
since
like-
we mispronounced Trogs.
Yeah, that was
Buzzy came from the parking lot.
it's true. It's like, all right, man.
We had that was like episode 3. We had just become a craft cast. God damn, but yo, this dogfish head is good as shit.
Yeah, it's it'll hit you hard.
It's the
hard as
same
fuck.
color as that fucking bourbon you brought.
2012. That's
Yeah.
4 fucking years old, man.
Yep.
That
That's
ain't
as
no
old as my
bitch.
comedy career. So I feel good.
Well, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you
Of
guys.
course,
That is dope. Nobody's brought us a lineup like this.
Nah.
Except for Bloom Brew. Bloom Brew, but that was their stuff.
Yeah. We've never had a non-brewer bring us a lineup quite like this.
Yeah, this
with the variety and the strength that this is. So
Variety and the strength.
Variety and strength.
We are on a tight time constraint. We're not going to make it. Like,
No, we're not.
this isn't going to work.
Yeah, this is gonna
So, for the people who are not familiar, tell them about your podcast.
All right, yeah.
You had Day on. I'm looking forward to getting that email, so I can go on and talk about shit I don't know about. I love doing that.
Yeah, dude, you come on anytime you want. We
I
love
love
having
talking about shit
guests.
I know nothing about.
So what we do is we usually do it out of the Southside Comic Book Shop. Check it out. It's on. It's at 1931 East Carson Street. Our other buddy Dan, not other Dan, but our other buddy Dan. he runs the shop. And
real Dan.
Yeah.
Oh, you just took Dan's name.
Like, what are you going by? All right, I'll do that too.
Well, that's what he call him. He's Daniel, and then Dan is Dan.
No, weird Dan.
I love lamp. Like it's
Well, at one point, somebody said other Dan, and then they both were like, "What the fuck? I'm not other Dan."
Yeah, because who the fuck is other Dan? It's like this substitute, this subpar.
yeah.
The
Well, that's
other
like
Dan.
but that's like it's great. Like it's like being like black. Like black Dan. It's like why I gotta be black? Like,
Right.
why can't you be white Dan?
I'm the
Like,
other day.
like,
I'm definitely the other day to people. There's Day, and then there's the other guy who might be Day. That's who I am. I was like, are you? Like, no. But I do hang around him a lot.
But I get tagged in Ed pictures. They're like, I definitely got tagged. Like it's like, oh Ed, they're like, you sure? Like,
Yeah, they don't. They know us, but they don't.
But it's got to be white people, though, right? So those are all white people.
Generally, they're of the Caucasoid persuasion.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up.
Every time someone like, you know who you look like, I'm like, nobody else actually. Like now you look like this person. Like, I'm not related to that person. Sorry.
Nah, once you fit into a stereotype, you just because you light skinny, you got
Right.
a shortcut. So every other.
Yeah.
I like that your response is, I'm not related to that person.
People have asked me that shit all the time. Oh, you look just like are you related to this person? I'm like, are you fucking serious? Come on.
That's because are you related is the polite way of saying you look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, are you? And they ask you somebody like, are you related to Teddy Pendergrass? Like, no, motherfucker. What will make you think? Like, what will make you think? Whatever. Tell them about your podcast. This is gonna go down a dark road. I'm gonna start calling people out.
So to put it simply, what we do is we talk about comic books, but we do it in a way that hopefully people who don't listen to comic book or don't look at comic books, don't enjoy comic books, can listen to it too. Like we talk about comics, we talk about first issues of stuff, so you can listen to the podcast and pick up that issue, and then just be right on the same page as we are, and then you can go along.
It's nice for because Ed doesn't really get into a lot of comic books
Right.
or whatever. So you would you come down like when I came down, you read a comic book and then you get to talk genuinely about it. And like you said with number ones, anybody that's just kind of coming in or because I know like when I was a big comic book geek or whatever, I took like a hiatus
Right.
and then I got back in it and I was kind of like fuck, where do I even start? Like I've got 10 years to make up, but it was nice because you had the reboots of and getting into the number ones is a nice place to at any point. So
Yeah.
I like the fact that you guys do that.
Right.
Yeah, man. And the way I talk about it with people who are asking like what the podcast is about, it's a comic book podcast, but we just use comic books as like a starting point to deviate from entirely. Like when you were on Dave, like what do we talk about?
We were
dude?
talking about street
like
fights in Southside.
yeah,
Like-
talking about street fights. We're talking about like motherfuckers who have no backbone, like the dudes who are just like the vultures who are circling around your girlfriend, waiting for some shit to go wrong for like 30 minutes, so he can swoop in and be like, "Yo, I've been telling you for like 6 months that dude's fucked up."
Yeah.
You know, like just wait. Like so, we talk about all that stuff in the way that
glass
that
jar
art.
dick, the
Yeah.
emergency dick.
Wait a minute. Now you don't just there's got to be some context to that.
You know,
Throw that out. Now I'm in the room and I wasn't in the previous conversation. Oh, what the fuck's going on?
Chris Rock, he's like, hey, every girl got the emergency dick, in case of emergency, break this glass. You know what I mean? It's that whole, thing. But we get on that as a result of a conversation that started with a comic book.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in the way that and we all know how art reflects, our art reflects reality, right? Right. Yeah. Art is just an elaborate or art is your reality projected out into some surreality, right? And so you can take that and fucking. You can see your life kind of playing out in these hero roles or
sometimes we'll get into a conversation where some comic books like this one right here where we will talk about later. It's not like super deep, but like some of them are pretty deep, and then you can get into this whole kind of like maybe an existential conversation or whatever you want to talk about. And we get in like pretty deep into some subjects. You're like, how do we get here?
Yeah.
But the comic books serve as like you said, like a jumping off point to get to those weird places. And we just get drunk as fuck and fucked up.
That always helps.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you got because at the beginning you guys kind of went around and were talking about some issues as well,
right?
Getting it beforehand, which was super dope because like I said, I mean the whole cast moving forward, like moving through it, you got some issues, you got to talk about some real shit, then you get into things that you love, and then it's that back and forth of the podcast that I really enjoyed. So
Yeah, we try. We open up with like different segments. Like we have like what are you doing? What Chin's doing. We call it Pittsburgh, obviously.
Yeah.
And we talk about like what each one of us is like watching or reading or whatever, and then like what's going on in the news, and then we go to the comic book. So it's like
and when Kat was on, we had the hateful haiku. So you write a haiku about something you really fucking hate, Yeah. And Kat killed it on there. You know?
For those listening, Kat will be on the next episode, so
Yeah.
you'll know all about that.
It will make a lot of sense.
Shout out episode 99.
1 week after you listen to this. So as a person who is not a part of the comic book culture at all, how did you guys like me? How did you guys get started? Like, were you reading comics as children? I mean, at this point, it almost feels like as an adult, it's too late for me to jump in. I don't know though. You know what I mean? It seems like now they're much deeper than there's a stigma about it. You know what I mean? That it's a childish thing. But like listening to you guys and then looking at this artwork of this one, there's nothing childish about this shit. Like, how did you guys start with the comic books? 'Cause I guess is a collector's thing for a lot of people, but I was collecting like sports cards, so that covered my collector's thing, and then I didn't have comics as the reading thing. So how did that start for you too?
Well, for me, I kind of did the same thing that you did, Dave. Like I was out of it for a little while, and then I was like, you know what, I'm getting back into comics, and I started reading them. I started going. Actually, Dan up in the shop down there, so I started hanging out there, and so once we started doing the podcast, like I was already collecting them too. Like I had started collecting them for a little while, and then I stopped in the comic book shop, and Dan and I started talking, and we're like, man, like we have good conversations. We can we're kind of funny, so why don't we do a podcast? So I got even more into it, so the podcast actually kind of got me more like deeper into the into the whole thing. So I made like the conscious decision to like, I'm gonna get back into comics, see what I can do, catch up, like read Wikipedia articles and stuff that I'm not up on and all that kind of stuff. So I just made the decision. I was like, you know what, I need to do something. Like I'm gonna get a new hobby. And I just did it.
Dan, you look like you spend your days beating up people on the South Side. How did you get in the comics?
Like,
he's a straight bruiser, man. Like I can't wait till these pictures come out so people understand.
Yeah, like you don't understand what I'm looking at. Like,
He's
this motherfucker don't read comic books. If he does, he's always reading for the villain. Like, how do I do with this motherfucker?
Yeah, he's in a Scorsese movie somewhere, like the gangs in New York. Like he's goon number 3, like kind of. Yeah, I mean,
He's the Raphael to my Leonardo.
Right.
That's a good. Yes, that's very. He's very Raphaelish.
So have you ever seen him sleep in the tub?
He wants some food. Get him some food.
I resent that because I feel like I'm more of a Donatello. However,
He was a sensitive thug. He's like the hard, outside with the heart of gold, like nougat on the inside.
He is
like,
sensitive as fuck, actually.
yeah.
That's true.
Oh yeah, of course. He's reading comic books.
well, okay, so
He had to get tough.
you had to like Day and I talked about, talking about beating people up on the South Side. Jared, the Leonardo, thinks that like there are very few instances where somebody needs to be, roughed the fuck up.
Yeah, I try to avoid that at all
Me,
costs.
I have my spectrum of what would justify, somebody getting roughed the fuck up is a little bit broader.
Your spectrum seems like anything.
Tuesday.
No, man.
I don't have a coffee yet.
Yeah, no,
Traffic.
no, that's the thing. You can't get fucked up about traffic. You can't get fucked up about shit that is going to go wrong. Before you walk out the door, some shit's going to go wrong. You can't get fucked up about that. And that's the problem. People who have road rage, they're getting all fucked up about road rage, hopping out of the car. It's like, what, did you think since yesterday everybody in the fucking world learned how to drive? Wrong. They didn't. So if you're still getting fucking worked up about this is your problem.
You sound worked up, man.
Yeah.
You sound very worked up.
He's like, I resent this whole image that's been placed upon me. But let me rage.
That's why I did that.
And we didn't bring up traffic though. This is something that he wanted to talk about. What comic book do you read where traffic affects the storyline?
No. So
That's a good idea, though.
I did say traffic.
All right.
You did say traffic.
I wasn't gonna give you that one.
Thanks. Good looking out, man. Way to be honest.
Now, Day only likes to prove me wrong and shit. We was on the panel talk about cereal, and I fucked that up.
No, but like you were saying, Ed. I haven't been into comics in a while either. I had a long period where I was really into comics, and it was really formative. And we talked about
Did you
this
guys so you guys were reading comics as kids?
Yeah. As kids, I had a
you
bunch.
started, and then you both kind of had a hiatus of some sort.
Right. Whenever I got to be, I don't know, in high school, right? Got into music and wasn't into comics so much. But comics shaped a lot of my views and a lot of the way that I don't know that I perceived the world as a kid.
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of them are allegorical. I mean, with the X-Men and the race and this, that, and the other. I mean, you have a lot of that. So to have that
Allegorical.
to have that growing up. And to see these real issues, because you're not getting that in cartoons as much. I mean, a lot of the humor is over your head, and this and the other. But with comic books, growing up, they tackle real shit and adversity and the whole nine. Yeah. And it's colorful enough to where it keeps you entertainment, but also at the end, you kind of learn something.
Yeah, you don't realize that you're learning about an issue.
Yeah, you don't
until you're an adult, and you're like, oh shit! I didn't realize that Professor X is Martin Luther King and Magneto is Malcolm X.
Yeah, I mean,
and Professor X's name is Malcolm X, but Professor X, holy fuck!
No, that's really what it is.
Give me a second to digest that.
See?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't. Well, okay.
Professor X is the peaceful side, and
Magneto's the militant.
Magneto's is the militant. You gotta.
I'm gonna sound like a complete ass, and this is probably gonna happen several times on this episode.
No, that's what this episode is for. Yeah.
Are they the same person?
No.
Okay.
No, there's two.
I thought Professor X
Nemesis.
got fucked up and turned into Magneto. Magneto's the guy that could take your keys out your pocket.
Yeah, he's the middle dude.
Professor
X is the
he
mental
was the
dude.
final villain when you on the X-Men video game and he had the shit and he was like, I can't get in there.
He was doing all the balls.
All right,
and
cool.
Yeah.
So, all right, and they ain't fuck with each other.
Not a ridiculous question because right now Professor X's brain is in the Red Skull's head, so that's a totally reasonable question.
That's a whole.
That's next level shit.
But
what's the Red Skull? Is that okay?
We don't want to focus on. We can't get to. We'll be here.
Yeah.
But what I found is that comic book people usually are more accepting of other people because of that, like, you know, that early introduction to like, hey, like, I mean, like you said, it's for me, like, you know, it's kind of like putting a dog pill in a biscuit and feeding it. It's like you don't know that you're getting that lesson. You know what I mean? Like you're just absorbing it, and you know, like and you get in these communities like the Comic Cons. Comic Cons are crazy. As fuck.
Dude.
Like, but it's so dope. Like,
awesome.
it's so many people or whatever.
People are ridiculous and it's cool. Like,
Yeah,
everybody's cool.
And that's where, like, honestly, that's where a nerd can be king.
Yeah.
Like, he's a god. He comes in with his full gear.
Cosplay shit on.
Yeah.
People are like, dude, you look so cool. And they're like, ah, thanks.
And the women, like, then there's some.
I'm having an out of body experience. Like, I don't know what the fuck
There's
is
some
going on.
fine ass comic women.
Absolutely.
Under all that furry shit, they still fine?
It's not even furry. Well, see, they dress.
That's different.
So
That's different.
The thing about comic books is they are slightly misogynistic, especially in the way that they dress women.
Most things that
and
make
a lot of
mainstream
women
are misogynistic.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, and a lot of women show up in these costumes like they're Wonder Woman.
Right.
You seen Wonder Woman, right? You know, the star.
She has like a short skirt and like high
Does she have a
heels.
skirt? I thought she was just
She
like
just
in
underwear.
panties and like a
Sometimes,
leotard
yeah,
or some shit like that. With a cape and some big
so
stripper boots.
That's what they're walking.
Get it. Yeah,
That's
Wonder
what
Woman.
there's women that are built like Wonder Women that are dressed like Wonder Women walking around at Comic-Con like fawning over geeks.
I'm fine with that. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not,
so-
geeks win in life after 25.
Absolutely.
After 25,
Yeah.
geeks are winning. Like,
Yeah, if you're listening to this and you're 18, you're in high school and you're about to graduate, just hold on for a little while longer.
just stay geeking, get that money. You know what I mean?
I mean,
You winning.
even if you take a hiatus, because I look at it like, you know, because I'm looking at you guys, and you guys clearly have, you know, found your social, you know, groove, your vibe or whatever, and I did it as well, and I think that kind of, you know, maybe taking a break from that and coming back as opposed to just letting that
Fully
rule.
immerse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Always
But
be,
it's-
and then you get into the dungeon club, and like,
Well,
you know, you don't want it to go too left.
Right.
Well, to speak to your point earlier, it seems like one of the things that I will say about and not having been in the comic book culture, it just seems like one of the first things that you do where there is a culture for it when you're a child. Like there's a group of people who are really into that. You know what I mean? Like as a child, like I grew up in the inner city, like sports was a thing, but everybody to some degree was into sports.
Exactly.
And then if you weren't into sports, then you were like, why is he not in sports? And then you better have been into music or we couldn't explain.
right.
You had to go stay with your family over the summer. You know what I mean? Like out of town relatives. But like comic books, I would say comic books and wrestling, things that can create storylines that you can kind of get drawn into.
Right.
You know, those things bring people together. And I've respected that about comic books. I've never actually had a negative view on comic books per se, but I am aware of the stereotype.
Yeah.
But I guess for me, because he was speaking about how they're allegorical, it's always seemed like they've always seemed outlandish to me. And maybe I've read the wrong comic books. Like I can't look at a Batman and be like, yo, that shit teaches me lessons about life. Because it's just some rich dude jumping off of buildings and shit. Like,
So
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
I feel you, and that's what happened to me. So whenever I took my break from comics, and I started getting back into it, Jared was like, "Hey man, we should do this. We should do this podcast." I started reading first issues, but like the shit that resonated with me wasn't any more of this like Marvel, DC, binary. There's a good guy who's absolutely good. There's a bad guy who's absolutely bad. And this is the world, right? The comics that resonate with me are the ones where like the good guy also does dope
flaws.
sometimes.
Yeah.
got a side
You know,
bitch.
like I
I gotta have a side chick.
Yeah,
you can't have all this money and be fucking one chick, dog.
Right.
no, and it's not even guys who have all this money. It's guys who are fucked up like the rest of us. You know, they're hustling. They have a legitimate thing going on. They have an illegitimate thing going on, and they're still trying to keep everything together. They don't have fucking superpowers. They're just trying to get by. They're trying to make a life. They're trying to find meaning and value in continuing to fucking wake up and be like, I'm gonna keep breathing today for this reason.
Yeah,
like
as an adult, I gravitate more towards those, and that's why I'm more of a Marvel fan than DC because like there really are flawed characters. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's why like you know with even with say Professor X and it gets as simple as Professor X and Magneto. Magneto had redeeming qualities. Like you could understand
For sure.
his, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's a bad guy, but he really just wants his people to live. And he's trying to do that the best. Again, when they say like Malcolm X, by any means necessary.
Right.
And people will vilify him and say, hey, you're going about it the wrong way. But he's like, you ain't got a better option. And it's those times when Magneto and Professor X get to talking is when you really realize that Magneto isn't like just a villain. He's like, yeah, but look at what you've done. How much have you done? Because you're still fighting.
Right.
You're still fighting. You're still, you know what I mean? Like, how is it working? Is it working?
Right.
And,
Yeah.
and then you look at you could kind of see that in any, like, in leaders or whatever. I'd imagine that. Like, if Martin and Malcolm, it was the same thing. It's like they sit down together and it's like, yeah, I believe this way. And then Malcolm go to him like, but is it working?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, where are you at with it? So, like, I agree with, like, that flawed. And that's why Watchmen kind of like was one of the first that kind, because it was so real and gritty, and like it went into so many different places. And I think that once, I'm sure it impacted like the industry, but coming back to it, like, as an adult and seeing how like it impacted the whole industry, and you started to see more flawed heroes, like anti-heroes and people that are just like, yo, fuck this, like, it's tough. That Civil War was crazy.
Yeah. Or the whole time after a little while, you think to yourself, like, who is the good guy here, actually? I thought I knew who the good guys were, but I don't know anymore. Like, there's a bunch, like, especially Watchmen, where Ozymandias, like, at the end, spoiler alert, but at the end, he's the one behind the whole plot.
Yeah.
And he's like, listen, this is going to bring the world together
Yeah.
by killing all these people. And you're like, wait, what? And then you think about it, you're like, he's right, and it does. And everyone else, all the other heroes are like, dude, we have to try to stop you. And he's like, oh, you can't stop me. I already did it. And,
Yeah,
and,
no,
and,
it's
and,
already-
and then you're
yeah.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
You're like,
he's like, I'm not giving you this monologue, B. This ain't,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
I'm not
Like,
an idiot. Like, it's happened 15 minutes ago.
If I
I'm
told
just
you,
telling you what happened.
I'm telling you what I did, not what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
B. Like, that was like blind blowing for me
Yeah.
because I was used to the monologue.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna do this, and it was like, no, you're not, because we're gonna spoil you.
Right.
And it's like, it's done.
Yeah. You just-
Kind of like Zootopia.
Yeah,
all I
didn't see
I've
Zootopia,
never
actually.
seen
See,
Zootopia.
y'all
I heard
see
it's
that?
good.
It is good. It's fucking amazing. We have another grown-up human comic person in the building.
Before we get into that, because what I want to do is I want to switch over because it's a crosscast.
Okay.
So I want to just kind of like switch over, get you guys to start your thing,
Okay.
and then we'll reboot.
Okay.
So let's do 60 seconds. We'll come back.
Okay.
All right, tune in, folks. Stay with us.
All right.
This will be like 5 seconds for y'all.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just gonna come back.
It'll be
on.
this. It'll be. We can put the theme song in. We'll put our theme song.
Grown-up human comic people. Grown-up human comic people.
I love Trailer Park.
It's the best show ever. It's so awesome.
It's the best worst thing to ever be recorded.
Absolutely.
I love how their budget never increased.
Yeah.
Even after they got on with Netflix, it was still the
We
same.
get two birds stoned at once. Are we good?
Yep.
Shit.
Welcome to this is a kind of nebulous episode. I'm not going to number it. I don't even know. Whatever. It's a crosscast episode of Grown Up Human Comic People. Yeah, we're on Drinking Partners. Drinking Partners with us. We go around the table, and I'll just I'll say people's names. You say what's up. So to my left, as traditionally, we got Dave. Say what's up.
What's good with you, peoples?
We got Dan. We got Ed.
Hola.
We got Daniel.
Still making pancakes at your mom's house.
Never let it die.
And I'm Jared, and this is Grown Up Human Comic People / Drinking Partners. Yeah, so welcome to the show. We just been talking about a bunch of shit. Where should we go from here? I guess we usually do a first segment. We usually do what Chin's do. Let's do what Chin's doing. Why not? Real fast. Yeah. So just real fast. What have you guys been doing? What have you been watching? What have you been listening to? Day?
What have I been watching? What have I been listening to? I've been watching the news because Trump is a thing.
Oh, fine.
So
we only have 25 minutes.
Yeah, there's that. And then there's Fargo. I just got into the second season of Fargo.
I heard that's good. I haven't watched
and
it.
it's actually like I watched the first season. It was dope. I got into the second season. I just finished that, and it's really good.
Okay.
Star-studded cast, very well written. Coen Brothers produced that. So if you're looking for something to binge, if you haven't gotten into it, Fargo season 1 or 2 because they're standalone seasons. So.
Cool. Dan?
Very cool. I'm being a dad, learning to be a dad
you
to a
had a kid.
baby. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing, man. I learned what schmegma is today. Yeah, it's a real thing. I didn't know, dude.
Fucking gross.
Wait, you mean that's a medical term?
Uh-huh.
Shut the fuck up.
I swear.
Gross. I don't envy you at all.
This is officially a Grown Up Humans episode because we immediately started talking about schmegma. So
You guys
there we
know
go.
what it is?
No, I don't fucking know what that
Anyone?
is.
All right, real quick. So
I might
sorry.
take my headphones off.
sorry, Thomas, my lovely son. His testicles are swollen. So I thought, like, all right, whatever. And yesterday, I was changing his diaper, and there was this like white flaky shit on his penis. So I texted my wife, and I was like, "Hey, there's something wrong with Tommy's penis."
That's the hashtag for this episode.
Yeah.
Hey, there's something wrong.
Hashtag.
And she's like, all right, wait, I'll come home. And I had to go to work. And, when I was at work, she told me she took him to the doctor. And I forget exactly what it is, but it's like a precursor for a sports hernia. And I've had hernias before, so it's like highly likely that he'll get it. So it's just the way, like, what his body's doing. And that white flaky stuff is called schmegma.
It's dick cheese.
Dick cheese. There you go. Now we got it.
Shit, man,
That's
I thought
it.
that was just like
His son's
what
creaming.
you got, like after you went like running, and then you were like working out or something, and then you're
Yeah.
like, oh, my fucking balls stink.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was schmegma.
That's yeah.
That's
Yeah,
just
I
balls
mean, I didn't
That's
know
just
it was
balls
a legit
just
medical
balls
term, but
Yeesh.
she told me
Schmegma.
that. She's like, "That's what the doctor
you
said."
spelled like SCH.
I didn't get into.
No, I
that
thought it
part.
was schmegma. Like it would have like the like Schlitz, you know,
I feel what
SCH.
you're saying, but
It's IMEG.
I just think we should all take a moment to send a prayer up.
Yeah,
For Tommy's penis.
So it's like ball yeast.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we thought maybe it would be a yeast infection because sometimes babies get that from all the milk they're drinking. Dude, you learned some weird shit.
You do, man.
It's because Tommy's dick's so big. He was blessed with a Degnan dick.
right.
He's got it's like the same size as his arm.
I'd like to point out the only people who are laughing the hardest at this are the people who don't have any kids. Like you guys are just like, yeah.
True.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I have a son, and so like your son's balls are really big when he's born, just because
Right.
they're like toddler balls, but he's a baby. So I understand. But now I'm concerned. Now I got to go look for schmegma. God damn.
Yeah. You got to be aware of that dick cheese.
I'm Ed, by the way. I didn't want to just come in and start talking about dick yeast and didn't formally introduce myself.
Yeah, what Chin's doing?
I am also being a parent of 2 beautiful children, and I am watching Insecure with Issa Rae. Very good.
Man, that show was real good. Like
That show makes you question your relationship. Like if you're like middle class person, you're just like, yo, is that how my girl feel about me? Like what the fuck is going on?
right? I mean, I'm working class, Ed. So I mean, I don't know.
Working class is middle class. Anything that's not anything that's
working
not upper class is working class.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Like you separated by what, a couple $1,000s,
It's upper class.
and then upper class is like tens of thousands
Yeah,
dollars.
it's
ahead.
upper
Like,
class,
that shit don't
working
matter.
class, and struggling like that, and the working class is struggling too. So I mean, like,
Upper class
Because
is
we
like,
trying to live like the upper class.
yeah,
upper
yeah.
class. Can you buy a boat at any time?
Yeah.
Whenever you feel like it.
Exactly.
Very true.
Do you
Yo, I
have
could
a
I
boat
could buy
fund?
a busted ass boat at any time.
Yeah,
I could buy like a $1,000 boat.
Okay, well-
like something that's like like a pontoon. It's got like
That's not a boat.
one like semi fucked
It's a
up.
it's a
like,
pontoon.
It tilts
It's
to
like
the right
it's
at
like
all
kayak.
times.
I got this kayak money cracking. You know what I mean?
That's not even a
What's
kayak.
good with you, girl?
That's a boogie board. A boogie board with sides.
we can escape. Yeah, you gotta lay on your belly and swim.
Come on, bitch, use that right arm.
I don't care how drunk kids are. We got to get back to the point. I got work at 5.
We're never making it back up at Ohio if you don't start paddling right now.
They should do a working class boat ride. There's a bunch of motherfuckers who can't swim on the boat trying to figure out how that shit stay afloat. I think it's the udders underneath. The what? The udders.
Oh shit.
So what have you been doing, man?
That's literally. I have
that's-
2 small children, so I don't do
yeah.
nothing but comedy shows, watch whatever wifey wants to watch, and try to masturbate when she falls asleep.
Nice. There it is.
You ever try to masturbate in the bathroom, real silent?
Oh yeah,
It's just disgusting. man.
It's a little bit sad too.
Yeah.
It's like you're in there. You brought your laptop in, like, honey, what are you doing in there with your laptop? Nothing.
I'm checking the mortgage balance. I'm
doing it.
checking the fucking mortgage
Laptop,
balance.
nigga, you gotta get on some mobile shit. Like, we should
Be stealthy.
You gotta watch some porn on mute. That shit sucks.
Yeah, true. You gotta keep it super low. You gotta put it up to your ear, like.
You can't see it.
What did she say?
You masturbating to a podcast.
No, like legit. I've been like, all right, man. Like I'm gonna rub one out. I'm gonna watch some porn on my phone. And I got like halfway through. I was like, no, actually, fuck this. Like this. I can't fuck with porn on my phone. You can't see
that's how
shit.
you know you
Like,
ain't in the situation with a girl.
You ain't in the real. You ain't in that real.
You don't. Yeah, you ain't in.
You ain't in that. You ain't in too deep.
Yeah.
You ain't no cop, Jay Reed.
You know, you expose yourself, man. That's every man's burden. Like, just trying to find time.
First of all, you never been on vacation with your family before? Like, you have to bring your phone or something because
yeah, you
can't
bringing a
just-
laptop. Who's bringing a laptop into the
man,
bathroom?
I got a MacBook Air, and sometimes I need to check email in the bathroom.
Even with your roommates, they like, we know. Like, yeah,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Like when I had roommates, I just had to wait until they wasn't there. Like, cause you know what I mean, before it became mobile, you just had to wait until they wasn't there, and then you know, like that was. Now that it's mobile, you just gotta like make sure you
gotta
keep
find
it
a
low.
spot, man. You gotta find a spot where the Wi-Fi works
Yeah.
and where you can shut the door. Like I masturbated in the tool shed. Like we should just do a whole podcast about the exotic places that I've masturbated. I masturbated in the treehouse. I masturbated in one of those little Power Wheel cars. All that shit.
Would you masturbate in a house? Would you masturbate with a mouse? Would you masturbate with a fox?
No, but that's what's fucked
I
up,
would
right?
not, could not with a mouse.
That's what's fucked up. So a buddy of mine who is now married, he hit me up, and this was like a couple years ago, and we were both in like kind of difficult relationships, you know. And he's like, yo, dude,
He was in a marriage.
He's like, well, he's married now, but like he hit me up a couple years ago before he was married, and he was like, dude, so like how often are you jerking off? Because he knew I was in a relationship too, and he's like, how often are you jerking off? I was like, I don't know, pretty often, man. He's like, dude, I'm jerking off like more than I'm fucking right now.
Yeah,
and I was like,
that's a sad place
Like
to
I
be.
feel you, man. Like that's where I was too. And I was like, what do you do? And he's like,
Yeah, jerking off only becomes unhealthy when the ratio is askew. You know what I mean? Like if you're not getting no buns and you just jerking off, then it's straight guilt.
Yeah, exactly.
But I feel like you still have to jerk it like pretty regularly just to keep your shit together.
Well,
you
the
know what I
more
mean?
sex you get, the more regularly your dick wants to bust a nut.
Exactly.
Like,
Right.
Well, I think honestly,
That's fair.
I think that it's the way to stay faithful.
Yeah.
Because if here's the thing, man, and I don't know, you know, female listeners or whatever, but here's the thing,
they
man.
masturbate too.
Yeah, like here's the thing. Just because I'm with you doesn't mean that I find every other woman unattractive on the planet. You know what I mean? Like I still want to fuck a lot of things,
Everybody. Yeah.
but I mean, it is what it is. And like if my girl was like, yo, he's attractive, yeah, and I'm but masturbation, it keeps you on level. You're like, all right, you know, I'm gonna just rub this one out and then cool, we good. You know what I mean? Like you said, as long as you got a nice buns to, you know what I mean, you know, mobile ratio, you good to go.
So we've come to at least one conclusion here, right? Masturbate, but keep your ratio 2 to 1.
There you
consensual sex to masturbation.
Oh,
sessions.
I would say that for me, like the masturbation is gonna be more like, you know, just almost any time, unless it's like the beginning of a relationship. You know, you're fucking all the time.
Yeah.
But like, you know, if you're not fucking all the time, then I think that
So we've got to be feeding into some stereotype being on a comic book cop podcast.
We went straight to masturbation.
5 dudes. As soon as it became 5 dudes, it went straight to masturbation. It's like we all need to just get it on the table.
It's a
Right?
safe space. This is a safe place.
Because nobody's comfortable with shaking hands. You don't know. I feel like you should be able to just ask a man, what's your ratio? Because I need to know how much sex you getting before I shake your hand. I don't like dudes with soft hands.
Well, sometimes if you know you're going to go out and you're going to do something like, say you go to do a show or you're going to be around a lot of attractive women or something like that, you got to do it right before.
Exactly.
Right before.
I mean, get that out of the way.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
it is what it is.
You make the dumbest decisions when you haven't jerked off before you went out.
Exactly.
Like, you go out, you haven't fucking jerked off. It's like,
Especially if you put alcohol
you're like
in
that. Jared and I talk about this.
Yeah.
You become like that cartoon wolf, where like your teeth are out, and
You stomping your foot
fucking
like
saliva's dripping down, and they're licking their chops, and like there are times I'll look at Jared, I'll be like, hey man. I need you to let me know if I'm being the wolf because I don't know what's going on right now.
You gotta have a base. Somebody be like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
You might want to lean on.
Usually he's all right, and then he gets a little fucked up. He's like, no, actually, I think you were right. I'm like, fuck, it's all ruined. It's ruined. Like, I don't know anything
day
anymore.
ones with you, as they would say. Gotta keep your day ones
Keep your
with
day
you.
ones, man.
Yeah. And let's not pretend like women can't turn that shit off when they want to, because they can. I
Yeah.
don't care how horny they are, they can turn it
Yeah,
off.
they've been trained from birth.
Absolutely.
Like it's
because it's always coming at them. They're like, they can say no at the drop of a hat. They're just like, nope, happens all the time. Nope, don't care.
Well,
nope.
yeah, so much. It's supply and demand.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like when you got it, like if I walked around and I just had my pick, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
at any given point, I could just lift my shirt and get it.
Right.
It would be a different life.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to jerk off ever. You'd be like, I can do whatever.
I think women masturbate a lot more than they let on.
They
man.
definitely do.
Oh, yeah.
Because women have to discover themselves. Like women, because with a woman, she has to know herself better than her lover. Like a guy, like.
But see,
As long as there's some sort of friction, then we're good. Now, how you come about doing that friction, what you do, if you're doing splits, if you're doing cartwheels, cool. But as long as I get the friction, I'll come to completion. Like, women got to really learn themselves. So I think they probably masturbate more than us.
I don't
No,
know.
man.
I think it's because I think they don't just because it's more emotional for them. You know what I mean? Like
Nah,
for us,
man.
it's like you said, it's just a
Nah,
feeling.
man.
Like
I
if
done
I
fucked some scallies, dog.
Very
It ain't.
good.
I done had some scally wags. It ain't all. It ain't all emotional, fam.
I ain't gonna say how to.
I done been thrown up against the wall before. Like
That's
out
respect
here.
too.
Like,
You get thrown up against the wall. That's respect. It's like, okay, oh, this is going now.
Well, she took it from me. Like I don't know. If it happened. It happened. I didn't know it was about to happen. She made it very clear that it was happening, and I was cool with it. Like I can't say no, and I'm hard. Like you know what I mean? Like hard is the consent.
Wait a minute.
Really
Which
impossible.
which one of you guys said? Jared was telling me about like when you were saying like you're out and some girls trying to
stand up. We went to that show to the comedy festival with Quincy Jones.
Yeah.
Where you had a joke about like you only have so many defenses.
Can I talk about this bit?
Yes.
Or like a little piece of this bit. And so you said, some girls like, I'm gonna fuck you, and you're like, listen, I'm with somebody. I have a girl, and she's like, well, she'll never find out. Like, well, fuck. That's all I had. That's all that was.
That's actually Quincy Jones's bit. I don't want to take credit for that.
Was it Quincy that said that?
That's
Oh, I'm
Quincy's
sorry.
bit. I'm
Okay, I
not.
thought
No,
you said
that's
that.
fine. I just
Oh,
didn't
my
want.
bad.
I'm not gonna take credit for
Okay,
it. But
okay,
yeah,
okay.
that is what it is. Like,
Shout out to Quincy.
definitely don't want to take credit for that.
Yeah, my bad.
There's so many levels of me separating myself from that train of thought. Now, what I can say is that I understand.
I don't condone, but I understand.
Because it's not even it's about being able to do something and be free about it. It's like us coming here and talk about masturbation freely, just joking around and shit. But like if you got a girl and you on the cusp, like I'm trying to hold it down, and sometimes for a lot of dudes, the only thing that's keeping them from cheating is they girl finding out. So if a woman is like, yo, I'm trying to do this. You know what I mean? I don't want your girl to find out either. Like that's probably the sexiest thing she ever said. It's probably the sexiest thing that anyone's ever said to you in your life.
I've never heard anything
You could
nearly-
be single, and if a chick came up and said, "Yo, I'm trying to fuck, and I don't want nobody to know," like you'd be like,
curtains.
"Holy shit!" Because I was gonna try to keep this shit under wraps.
Where's the nearest alley and dumpster?
But now that this is
Where's the bathroom?
now that this is a collaboration,
You look around, you're like, where's the camera at? There's a microphone somewhere.
we cross-casting now.
Yeah.
So, ladies, if you want to get some dick, just tell them you ain't gonna tell nobody. Like,
what's that Aaliyah song? Don't let nobody know or whatever.
if your girl only knew.
If your girl,
That's when she became sexy.
That's
to
what
me.
it was like.
I was like, what?
she on it. All right, so
Well, that's Shoop too, right? Shouldn't Shoop about the same shit?
Shoop. No, that was just about getting dick.
I thought she was.
Shoop
She was
shoot that.
Oh, no,
yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm thinking about Creep. It's Creep.
Creep.
Oh,
Creep.
yeah.
Creep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Creep was about them cheating on their dudes. And I'm going to keep it real. This is
Yeah.
the most misogynistic thing I'll ever say. I can't watch movies or TV shows where the girl cheats on her dude. Like, I get super fucking tight. I get so fucking tight. I be like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
But you've never been on that end, though?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you ain't never been on that. Like, because, again, this
Not
is,
that
this
I
is-
know of.
This is
Real
my
shit.
bad, but back in the day, there was a point where, like, I saw, like, because when the girl's already attached, like, that is the because you ain't, like, what are you gonna do? Leave your man? Nah. You know I ain't
Well,
shit.
okay, I thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking about my girl cheating on me. So I don't know of
your girl
any
cheating
woman
on you.
who's cheated on me. Now, I'm
saying,
sure it's happened.
No, I'm saying you've never been approached like, look, I got a man.
Yeah, but
You know what
that's
I mean?
life,
I'm not
dog.
trying to fuck that up.
Yeah.
That's me.
That's about just as sexy as I know you in something, and I'm not trying to fuck that up.
It's less sexy because you know she's getting dick down. That takes away from, like, if a chick come up and be like, you gonna be my dick source and I'm not gonna tell nobody, you can fool yourself. Like, I'm the only one hitting it. But if she's got a dude, you can't fool yourself. You know she going home to something.
I don't know. I'm on his side on this one.
Thank you.
I'm gonna say, like, because if a chick's like, I got a man, I don't want anybody talking about it. They're like, oh, okay, well, cool.
You don't have to worry
Also-
about catching feelings.
also,
because that
that's
chick
not
might-
true.
You could call you that chick.
and that's
might,
where we differ. That is not
no,
true at all.
No. If she catches feelings, there's a lot more wreck on her side.
Yeah.
For her to get there. Whereas if she is catching feelings and you are the one in the relationship, she is catching feelings, so she might just be like, you know, I'm gonna fuck all your
crazy
shit.
shit. Yeah.
I'm gonna just fuck your shit up.
I'm gonna let Jared
So
try to
that-
solidify your point, then I'm gonna tear it down.
All right. Also, this is actually slightly different, but like, also, if a chick has a dude and she says like, I have this dude, but I want some of that. You're like, well, that makes me better than that dude.
But aren't you like? Don't you worry? Aren't you like? Did you get dick like 2 hours ago?
Thank you. Thank you. That's a big thing.
about that. Are you serious?
Do you have a
genuinely-
girlfriend?
That's where I go, man.
When your girl leaves the house, you don't try to hit that before she leave the house?
No.
Like,
You're
she
thinking
you know
about
what I'm
that?
saying? Yes. Because I'm fucking a chick who has someone she's probably living with or dealing with regularly. This motherfucker called
When you sleep with a woman, you're thinking about the last time she had
No,
dick?
we sitting on the couch.
I don't think about that shit.
I know she's getting
I don't
dick.
care.
I don't
It's
care.
different because you
guaranteed.
can fool yourself with most chicks and be like, I'm the source of penis. But if she has a dude,
Or you could
know.
just not give a fuck.
No,
that's
that's
why
exact-
we disagree.
That means
because you care and I don't.
I don't care. I'm arguing that a woman coming up to me and saying, I want to keep this on the hush hush is better than a woman being like, I
Because
got a
you
dude.
care about
No, it's
the-
not because I care. It's because
you
I
care-
already know. I already know, fam. I already know. And she probably will catch feelings if she's fucking you on the side because there's a reason that she's fucking you on the side. You're
she wants to get
providing something that she's not
Dick.
getting. I think
Right.
No.
No.
This
Here's
is young.
the thing.
He's sounding young. He's sounding young right now.
Now, here's the thing.
You're providing something that she's not getting from the source that she wants.
Exactly. No.
She's gonna catch feelings.
No,
But if you're
here's the
dicking
thing.
down a chick who has a dude, she's gonna catch feelings if you're dicking her down regularly. Like that's what she wants. That's what she's been yearning for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
but if
she
you're
ain't yearning for a meal at Butcher in the Rye.
If you're treating her on,
she wants, you know what I mean? Like, that's real shit. Like, I've been on that end where, like, yo, I'm just gonna be fucking
Butcher in the Rye. Nobody outside of Pittsburgh is gonna get this.
It's a date spot. That's all I'm saying. So hubby's taking on the dates, and she's fucking with you like she's gonna catch feelings because people in general fall for the things that
She
they
might,
most want.
But she
Things
has
they-
more to lose.
Right, but
So
she might want something. The thing she wants might not be the feelings. Like she might just want like really good.
And when
taste.
you get in that situation, you gotta you gotta be very clear. And if you're treating her like
Don't matter how
somebody,
clear you
no,
are,
no.
fam.
It depends on how you act. Don't be the one of them niggas that's like sending her morning text messages
Right.
and hey, I like your thing
Okay.
and all this extra shit like that. If you're dick, know your place and just be dick. And be a dick while you're giving her the dick. Like you know,
you can keep
gotta
lying to
leave
yourself,
right
fam.
now. You know the dicking is done. You gotta go.
You can keep
Be-
lying to yourself.
Be dick in all ways.
Yeah, just be a dick in all ways.
No,
be
so
a dick
she
she
knows,
knows. Like, don't
Be
be,
a
one of
dick
them.
to the
Don't be
core.
them. Don't be that pillow talking
All dick.
motherfucker where she gets to like unload her feelings about her. I don't give a fuck about your marriage.
We need to make sure.
Why
to
are we
say,
still?
You know,
why
I'm
are
talking about.
talking?
I'm telling you, bro. All right.
we, need to
All
make,
right.
we need to make sure to say all dick all the time.
No, what I think it's important to keep in mind, like when you're talking about these relationships and I mean just like fucking navigating this existence, like it's kind of absurd to think that one person is going to fulfill you in every way possible. And so as this like side dick or this whatever side chick or whatever you're doing, like these people are fulfilling specific
That's all I'm
roles,
saying,
right?
man.
And so maybe you just like you bring it and like you're the dude who comes in and just like hits it exactly how she wants it, right? And but like when she
You don't
wants
think
to
she
go
gonna catch
home,
feelings
But
if
she
you do
doesn't.
that?
She might not even like you though.
but she might.
They do that.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question. Do you two subscribe to the theory that sex is more emotional for women than men?
I mean, I would say most of the time,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you can't say that and say if you hitting it right, she ain't gonna catch
But
feelings.
sometimes the emotion's happening for her during sex. I'm not a woman, so I don't really know, but I'm assuming it's not even about you sometimes. Sometimes it's about like
don't have to be about you. You
Right.
are representative of that.
But you
Motherfuckers don't go to war for the flag, nigga. The flag is representative of the country.
right.
You the flag, dog.
Right, but I'm saying
so
like
motherfuckers is gonna be mad at people who take a knee.
I think
and
you're
shit.
less likely to have a woman who has a family with kids and a house, the whole nine, to catch feelings and abandon all that.
Right.
Don't have to abandon
Right.
it, but she could catch feelings.
Well, yeah, she can catch
You're
feelings.
right. You're right.
But
That's
catching
all I've
fe-
argued. That she catch feelings. I ain't saying you gotta
she
act in
can.
accordance, but you
what she
lying to
does
yourself,
with
you
that,
think she not
what
gonna
she
catch
does
feelings.
with that is different than what the side chick will do, because when she catches feelings, she's more willing to throw a wrench in your shit.
Yeah.
Than you, the side
Your
dick.
shit's already wrenched. You fucking with somebody's family, dog. You fucked.
Yeah.
I've been in a situation. Whenever you fuck with somebody's girl, your shit's compromised. You don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. Like, you don't know if that dude's gonna find out. And that dude, there's some niggas out here in this world. Like, I've had a dude who hit up my girl because I was fucking his girl, and like hit my girl. Like, you know what your niggas doing? Like, niggas is out here.
No, that and the thing that's fucking scary is like I don't want to have like it's been a long time since I had to like walk out on the street and be like, I hope I don't run into this person, you know, or that person.
You gotta watch your
And
back.
sometimes
Throwing a wrench in your
sometimes
shit.
when you're the side dick, you have to think like when you're talking to somebody, are you gonna get hit in the head with a bottle?
Real
and
shit.
it's like I don't want to get hit in the head ever.
So can I ask a question to you guys to bring it full circle, and then you guys can, close your cast however you do it.
Yeah.
What's a comic book that reflects like this conversation, like anything where it reflects this type of energy, tension when it comes to relations? Like, what's a comic book that you've read that's reflective of that? Because that type of book would garner my interest. Now,
Okay.
I'll give you a comic that I used to read. It's not a comic book. It's called Jumpstart. Used to be in the newspaper. Do you remember that? It was the Black Family. It was like one of those
I
three
do remember-
panel
I do remember
shits.
that. Yeah,
Like that's the only comic I've ever read. But it reflected some real stuff. That's why I read it.
Was there like a kid with
It was a
like
kid.
some kids? Yeah,
It was
yeah,
the
yeah.
dad. He had the waves and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, it
remember
was
that.
super black, and that's what got me. But then
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is kind of real.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what comic book have you read where it's like
this conversation
dealt with relationships or just anything like?
Oh, okay. I can think of two. One is The Violent. It's not exactly like this, but we reviewed one called The Violent, and it's this dude who
That's depressing.
it was real. It was super
Did he get
real.
cheated on?
It was fucking real. Well, not really.
All right, because if you
But
got cheated on,
it was
is
about
depressing.
it was about kind of infidelity in a different way. Like he just got out of jail. His wife, they were both addicts, and he was in jail. He gets out of jail, and he's about to. It starts out with him about to like sitting outside, like casing a house. His wife walks up, and she's like, "What are you doing?" he's like, just sitting here. She's like, no, you weren't. You were about to rob this house. And he's like, no, I wasn't. Anyway, it gets really fucking real from there. Like it's a little depressing, but it's pretty fucking good. Another one's Sex Criminals.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
There's a comic called Sex Criminals.
Sex Criminals.
It's hilarious too.
Yeah, it is great.
Very funny.
It is. It's this woman. So every time this woman has an orgasm, time freezes, and she can move around, but nobody else can. Like her whole everything else is frozen.
She busts a nut in the mannequin challenge.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so it's her, and then so she discovers
It's fucking awesome.
she's at a party and she meets this dude and they fuck, and then she comes and then like the lights happen, everything's frozen, and then she looks over at him and he's still moving. He's like, you have the same power, and then it's the two of them doing shit.
It's like the Discover card commercial.
yeah. They
Picks
can't.
up a credit card like, I'm not paying this tab.
Yeah, they can't. Well, they can't believe that they both have the same power. So like, anyway, it gets into relationships and shit. It's really good.
It's real funny too.
Yeah, it's really funny. But those are the two I would think of. Dan, you doing anything, or Daniel?
I mean, not really, but like, I mean, like in terms of like real stuff. You know, if you look at Image Comics, a lot of their stuff, it's very topical of what's going on in the world.
Shit, fucking Saga. I can.
Oh yeah, Saga's great, man. Yeah, how the fuck do we forget that?
Relationship shit.
Yeah, it's like Romeo and Juliet set in space.
It's really fucked up.
It's real fucked up.
There's a big dragon dick. It's crazy.
It's sucking its own dick.
Right.
Yeah.
See,
Not quite the turn I was ready to take.
Nah, you'd probably like it. Like
It's really good.
No,
yeah.
you don't know anything about
You'd like
it.
it.
Clearly don't know me.
You'd like it.
You are clearly the other Dan at this point.
No.
It's really good.
Because there's a point where the couple, they like start thinking about cheating on each other, and one goes down a different path that the other one goes down, and
Yeah, it's ridiculous in sci-fi and fantasy, but it's also very real. Like the relationships are really real. It is written like it's you know people like this.
yes,
Even though it's set in space, it's crazy, but like it's really great, and it actually does like some of that shit that we just talked about. It does come
it
up.
does come up. And the narrator is their daughter.
Yeah,
Like from and it's like from her perspective, like throughout her growing up. So it's pretty neat.
yeah. So how much?
the only drawback to Saga is where how many volumes in?
Oh, fuck,
Five, almost
5 or
6.
something like that.
So that's about 25 issues.
Yeah, something like that.
See, for me, talking about this shit, even though it's not directly related to like masturbation, side dicks and side chicks and everything else, reading books like Nameless, 6 issues, you have a start, you have a finish, you have the story arc that's going 6 issues. And it fucking takes you entirely outside of how you normally think about things, and it forces you to stop and consider like maybe my views about like fucking and getting fucked and like being in non-traditional relationships are maybe I need to like reconsider this or think differently. And so I encourage everybody I talk to is like, I haven't been into comics in a while. It's like, read Nameless. It's 6 issues. Fucking get into it. Sit with it a little bit and be willing to think that like maybe the constructs that define your reality are a little bit fucked up and might need to be, relooked at as a 30-year-old or a 20-something-year-old or a 40 or 50, 60-year-old. Something where like your reality is never fucking solid. This reality is only defined by a handful of senses and some fucking propaganda that's been injected into us. And
In your experience.
in our experiences, man, which are also, a product of that. So I think it's fun. I think it's cool to sit back and think like, what if there was a reality where this chick was I was her side piece and everything was copacetic. Like we just hit it and like everything was nice. And it was...
It's called the first 2 months.
All right. Well,
Guys, this has been fucking great.
Yeah, it's been great.
I've
we're
enjoyed
about-
the shit out of this.
Thank
it
you
was a
so
good time.
much for coming down. Having us on and doing the back and forth.
we'll do it again sometime. Like Ed come down. You know?
We got there's
Well,
just
yeah.
so much that
We did
needs
two
to be
halves.
said
we
and
can do
get.
the other two halves, and we'll have two holes.
Yeah,
We'll talk
I
about
mean-
we can talk about that. We talk about a bunch of shit. Yeah, absolutely.
We didn't even get because we didn't even get into the comments, the whole nine.
Yeah.
Like there's
Well, that
still a lot
happens.
on the
We do that all the time. We'll be like, we're gonna talk about 3 books today, and we're like, we got to 1.
Yeah.
Because we talked about masturbation for an hour.
that conversation needed to happen for everyone in this room.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna be a little more cool when they get to. Everybody's relationship is gonna take a step in the right direction after that. We all feel comfortable.
Right.
That's great.
It was a
Ratio.
masturbation conversation that acted as masturbation. For
You know
our
what?
egos.
Whoever the dudes who listen to this, they're gonna go home. They're gonna be like, all right, I'm bringing the ruckus. I
I don't
bring
want
the
anyone
ruckus
to
to them hoes,
masturbate
Jerry.
to anything I've ever said.
Because there's
Like,
some other motherfuckers out there that are ready to go.
Please never.
I heard that dude
masturbate
Dane Ed
because
is bringing
of
the
me.
ruckus to them bitches, Jerry.
I rock butts, dude.
I rock butts, dude.
All right. Well, that's enough.
To all fellas, don't listen to this with your girl.
Yeah, don't. We should put a little thing at the beginning.
This
like,
has to
don't.
say don't listen to
Not
this.
safe for women.
FW.
the same back.
It is the same. Niggas not gonna understand. It's not gonna understand though.
Until they get to what we just said right now, and they're like, "Oh fuck,
I get it.
Girls with me the whole time."
I blew it.
We told him.
Give me the spoon. Give me the spoon.
What do you know from funny?
So each of us should let the people know who are listening where to find us. If they're looking out for us, if you guys got anything going on, let them know. Dave's going to do his rundown.
Yeah,
as he
I
always does.
forgot to do the thing at the beginning. Anyway, well, so at the end, we're Grown Up Humans. You can find us at grownuphumans.com. You can find us at epicastnetwork.com/grownuphumans. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, at Grown Up Humans. You can find us on Facebook, Grown Up Human Comic People. You can go to Reddit. It's GHCP. It's like RGSGHCP. If you know Reddit, you'll get it. That's pretty much that's pretty much us. You come check it out. You guys, go ahead. Dave?
You know what it is.
We are drinking partners, and if you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspot. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at Partnerspot. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, and Google Play under Drinking
We're
Partners.
Googleable.
How many times did you practice that?
Well,
We're 100 episodes
yeah,
in, man.
it's just.
Was it on a paper first?
It was on the paper first.
right,
Yeah, it
all
took
right.
a little while. Then I had to move off of it. Yeah, I mean, like-
He had to throw his voice in.
Because I saw it, like I said, Day, go ahead, and you like your eyes went like
Yeah,
to
it
a
was-
different place.
He zoned out. Hey, listen, man. This has been one of the more fun podcasting days I've
Yeah.
had. We had family in here, so it's
Yeah.
dope. Shout out to Grown Up Human Comic People. Did I say that right?
that's right.
So many fucking words, but so worth it. You know what I mean? Like, so it was great sitting here with you guys.
This beer has been fucking amazing.
Yo, I'm
the
drunk.
lineup has been ridiculous. We had some Weyerbacher in here. We had some Brooklyn
Dogfish Head. We had some
Dogfish.
Kentucky cow piss. I don't know what that was.
Oh shit, we hit the insanity.
That's the shit a
too.
motherfucking uncle showed him one day. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna go get a handle of that.
Oh, I have a handle of that in every one of my vehicles at all times.
Wow. I
That's
just
your
like
trunk
that you
liquor?
said
That's your
every
trunk
one
liquor?
of your vehicles.
See, my trunk liquor is the with that Fireball, and Ed's trunk liquor is Henny. Clearly,
Yes.
I mean, so
I just don't want to gloss over the fact that you said every one of your vehicles. So we not gonna just let that slide. But as always, Drinking Partners is the crew, and as you can tell by these episodes, Epicast is the family, and we out here.
I mean, when you like, it really is insane.
You can talk about beating your dick. Like, it's so passionate.